Today I will teach you about the reactivity series in the chapter 3rd, metal and non-metal in class 10. Children, you know there are some metals which are highly reactive and even some metals are least reactive. You know the gold is the metal which is least reactive, non-corrosive and having great luster. This is soft, this is rare, and that is why this is costly metal used in ornaments. Okay, so copper, silver, gold, these are considered to be coinage metals, and these are least reactive, especially silver, gold, and platinum. These are least reactive. In other hand, there are some metals which are highly reactive, and you keep them inside the kerosene iron. You know, potassium, sodium, these are the metals which are highly reactive. Already you have been studying. So these are kept in kerosene iron. These are kept, by making a boundary to the open atmosphere, means oxygen and moisture, water. Because potassium and sodium, these are highly reactive metals. They directly combine, they directly react with water, means moisture present in the atmosphere and oxygen present in the atmosphere. So children, today we will discuss the reactivity series, means the series in which metals are arranged in the decreasing order of reactivity is known as reactivity series. So how you can define the series, reactivity series? The series in which metals are arranged in the decreasing order of reactivity is known as reactivity series. Children, you know these are the some elements with their reactivity series I have written here. Means potassium is on top, potassium, then sodium, then calcium, then magnesium, then aluminium, then zinc, iron, tin, lead, and even hydrogen. This is, although this is non-metal, but this is written here in this reactivity series, means the metals which are reactive more than hydrogen are considered to be most reactive elements, and the elements, especially the metals which are written under the hydrogen, copper, silver, gold, and platinum, these are least reactive metals. Children, you know, so metals reactivity is considered by this particular series by putting them in particular order. So on top it is a potassium. So which metal is most reactive according to reactivity series? And that is potassium. Okay, and which one is the next? That is sodium. But which is the least reactive? That is platinum. Next, gold. After that, silver, then copper, likewise. So children, in this chapter, metal and non-metal should have to practice the reactivity series and learn this properly. Now let me discuss about the ionic compounds, how these ionic compounds are formed and what are actual these ionic compounds, what are the properties. Children, you know, compounds formed due to the transfer of electrons from a metal to a non-metal. Means how these ionic compounds are formed? Ionic compounds formed due to the transfer of electrons from a metal to a non-metal. It is okay. Let me go through one example. NaCl is an ionic compound, and NaCl, the ionic compound, is formed by the transfer of one electron from sodium to chlorine. Already the atomic number of sodium is 11. Electron distribution goes to 281. Okay. In the third cell, how many electrons are there? 1. In case of chlorine, there are 17 electrons. Electron distribution goes to 287. Ultimately, last shell passes 7 electrons. So in chlorine there is a need of 1 electron. In sodium there is no need of one electron in the outermost shell, so it want to lose its electron to become sodium cation with neon and inert gas configuration. Okay. Likewise, chlorine, when got one electron from sodium, becomes chloride ion and shows inert argon electronic configuration. Means by losing electron, sodium becomes sodium cation. By gaining electron, chlorine atom becomes chloride ion, and there is an electrostatic force, a strong electrostatic force between cation and anion, and then there is ionic bond. It is okay. So there are some common properties of ionic compounds. You know, ionic compounds are hard and solid. Ionic compounds are hard and solid, and they having high melting and boiling points. What are the melting and boiling points? The ionic compounds possess very high melting and boiling points, and these are soluble in water. Means water is a polar solvent. What type of solvent is this? Water is a polar solvent. Means water possesses positive and negative charges. That's why ionic compounds readily soluble in water, but insoluble in ether, alcohol like solvents. So ionic compounds are highly soluble in readily soluble in water, but insoluble in ether, alcohol, etc. Children, one more thing you have to go through. Ionic compounds conducts the electricity in molten state and in solution state. Means when we heat strongly ionic compounds up to molten state, in that situation it may conduct the electricity. Otherwise, in crystalline solid state, it has no tendency to conduct electricity. But the second situation is when we dissolve ionic compound in water, it changes into ion, it converts into ions, and that situation leads to the conductivity of electricity. Now children, one more thing, these ionic crystals, ionic compounds are in the form of ionic crystals. These crystals are simple cubic crystals, body centered cubic crystals, face centered cubic crystals, and these simple cubic, body centered, face centered cubic crystals also show some defects which you will study in class 11th and 12th senior section. Those defects are point defects and impurity defects, and some common example of ionic compounds, ACl, NaCl, etc. So children, in this topic you have gone through the reactivity series and ionic compounds, how ionic compounds are formed, and what type of bonding is there, that is electrostatic force, means ionic bonding, electrovalent bonding, and sometimes this is called ND bonding, non-directional bonding. And what actually the properties we have gone through. Ionic compounds, these are hard and solid, having high melting and boiling point, soluble in water, insoluble in organic solvent, and these are good conductor of heat and electricity, but in molten state and in solution state. And ionic crystals are of three types: simple cubic, body centered cubic, face centered cubic, and these cubic crystals also shows point defects, impurity defects. Children, tomorrow we will discuss the next topic of class 10th chemistry chapter 4. Thank you.